Hello there, welcome back to Aidans Railways. Today we're going to have a look at the Lowland Carrier Hornby train set. Probably would be classed as a starter set, but it's got a lot of contents in it, so we'll get this open and we'll take a look at it now. Just briefly before we start, as you can see on the box, so as with all Hornby train sets, or at least the majority of them, you're going to get the track mat and all of the information inside. This one is a second-hand set. It was actually one of 3 that I picked up fairly recently, one of which was the Gloucester City Pullman, and got all 3 for a good deal. So inside here, the usual locomotive operation and maintenance manual for the 040 locomotives or HP motor. So it's going to tell you all about lubrication, running in, routine maintenance, how to access inside the actual locomotive, where to lubricate, if you need to fit a new motor, a track cleaning, bodywork, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be all in there. Anything you need to know that you should be aware of, it's going to be in this leaflet. As usual, you get a Hornby warranty registration card. This one hasn't been filled in. If you do buy a set, I would recommend you do fill it in and you do get it sent off to Hornby. Obviously, this is a second-hand set. It doesn't really affect me too much because I service and repair anything that I have anyway. So, but if you do buy a set, I fully recommend you get that sent off. Collectors Club application form. Now, this should give us an idea of roughly when it was produced. So there, I would say that this was produced around about 2012-2013, just going off what it has to say at the bottom here. So, but in there, if you get one of these with your set, it's worth sending off. I think it's about £28 now. It said 26 on there, but obviously it's a good few years old. £28, you're going to get a quarterly magazine, you're going to get a pin badge, you're going to get a membership card and access to reductions or exclusive models, and you'll nearly always get hold of a locomotive as well as part of the deal. So it's worth joining if you're not already a member. You also get this owner's manual. Now this will teach you about making baseboards, running the trains, fixing the track down, different diagrams on and explanations on using points and things like that, potentially what you could build, uncoupling ramps, all that kind of stuff. Don't throw them away, it's worth keeping them. So there we go. This will answer the question. This was in production about 2013 because we have a 2013 product range catalogue. These are always worth keeping a hold of because it's good for future reference if there's something specific that you're actually looking for. Lovely illustrations, and you'll see towards the bottom it'll actually give you a description and product number of the various things that are available in that category. So in that case, the railroad, track systems, track packs and accessories, collectors club, scale scenes, vehicles, steam locomotives, diesel and electric, digital components, and passenger rolling stock. So always worth keeping a hold of them. I like to keep a hold of the catalogues as well. And the track mat. Now I'm not going to get the track mat out today. If you do want to see what the track mat looks like set up with the track that's included in the set, I'm going to put a link just up here, and that will show you it'll take you to another set review which will show you the setting up of a track mat and the train running. So as I said earlier on, this is actually a second-hand set. Now it's second-hand new, basically. From what I'm led to believe, this particular person who took these to the model shop to get rid of them bought a number of sets with the full intention of building a train set or train layout and getting into the hobby, and it never happened. So they chose to get rid of the sets basically. So as you can see, looking at this, it doesn't even look like any of the items have actually been out of the actual box. There's no reason to think that they have, to be perfectly honest, looking at it, but we'll go through it. We'll have a look at what you get if you manage to pick one of these sets up, or a set that's similar. I like to look at a lot of the different sets, even these small starter ones, because you get so much in them. As I've said in other videos, you can't, even for someone like myself who has plenty of track and things like that, it's always worth having the extra track or the controllers and the various bits and pieces, because they all come in handy. You might need to replace things, you might want to extend, you might want to build more. So it's always worth having this stuff for the prices that they go for. So inside we have got a full circle 8 pieces of double third radius track, curved track, still with its plastic holding them together. We've got 2 double straights, 2 single straights, and a single straight with a power connector on, and that's just purely for you to connect this controller to that connector. We've got a single curve here, which will also, as you can see, I've still got the bands on. I don't really want to take them off because I don't want to use them at the moment. And we've got a set of points, left hand points to be precise. So they've never been out by the looks of things. This has the older of the new basic controllers. Let's get this out and have a look. This has almost definitely never been out of the packaging. So as you can see, it's still got the tissue paper on it. But these are a very basic controller. I don't dislike them, but I don't use them, to be perfectly honest. I use them for other things if I can. But they're a basic variable control with forward and reverse. And I'll take the tissue paper out on this. And you can see you've just got the basic connector there that will go into your power straight there. And that will connect you up to the track. Connecting the controller to power, you'll have this transformer, and it's just got a simple plug. You can just see it there, which will plug into the back of the controller. Plug that into your wall socket. If you're from the UK, you'll have the one like this, and switch it on, and you'll be ready to run. And I can't remember how this went into the packaging. There we go. So let's move on to some of the accessories first, rather than the actual loco and the rolling stock. Now, this is quite, I would say, an extensive starter pack, starter train set, because it's got quite a lot of things for you to put on that track mat, or if you're building a railway anyway. So, something you often get in these sets, we've got a buffer stop. Now that's just for your siding, very nice. Paint that up if you want, even put an LED in if you like. You can bring it to life, or you can just use it as is, weather it up, use some powders or just some old paints. Something you don't tend to get in a lot of sets these days now, but you can buy them separately on Hornby, is this detail pack. Now you nearly always get, focus in, you nearly always get a set of brake vacuum pipes. What you don't tend to get anymore, but you used to get all the time, is, on this one, is a fireman and a driver there. It's having quite a bit of difficulty focusing in today. I've actually painted a set of these up previously. I'm going to wait until I've got a few more, and I'm going to do a video to show you just how simple they are. But I do know that a lot of people just stick these straight inside the cabs of their locomotives, as are. But a couple of paints make all the difference. And inside this packet, and I'm going to open it, I wasn't going to originally, but I think I'll open it on this occasion just to show you exactly what you're going to get inside. In this packet we have got telegraph poles. There's a nice big double one there. And a single. And another single. Another single with plenty of parts on there. And there's a couple more as well here. Let's push this off to one side. Put them in there. You also get a gauge. You can put that up on near siding and things like that. It's your loading gauge, so it'll measure for height and width for the railways. These were quite commonplace back in the day. Also get 3 pieces, got to put it together, a water point. There we go. So you can fill your locomotive up with plenty of water for the journey ahead. So I'll take that back to bits. And that's metal. That's not plastic. Same as that. That's metal as well. There's quite a bit of weight behind there. And inside here, which is what this will come in handy for. Inside here, these black pieces here, these are for you to locate the telegraph poles into the top there. You can pin it down if you want, or screw it down either side, and that'll just rest up by, this piece will just rest up by your track. So it'll give you a good distance from the track where you need to be. It'll hold it in place and you can connect it on, and because of the way it's designed, you can just take it off. So if you do need to push take your board off your table, if you're doing it like that, and put it up against a wall, you haven't got these things sticking out and getting in the way. And then we've got a sign here. Let's just see if I can shake this back up a bit. This would be for your whistle, and rather handily, there are some stickers here, and as you can see, whistle. And there's also a number of numbers, and you've got levels 1 in 20, 1 in 20, 1 in 20, and they are for these rather wonderful white pieces in various forms to go along the line side. That's quite a lot of bits that you can actually put together and use on a train set, and you don't normally get that. I think there's one other set that we've bought over the years that's had parts in like that, and I think it was from an Asda exclusive from, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years back at the time. If you want, I'll put a link up here. I'm getting better at this now. That'll take you through to that video where we had a look at that one. Very similar actually, but not the same as this set. But let's start over here. Let's start having a look at the rolling stock. So what have we got in this one? Aha, I recognise what this is, and I've got lots of these upstairs. This has almost definitely never been out of the tissue paper. What we have here is a nice 4-wheeled coach. These are just generic Hornby 4-wheel coaches. They're great for showing potentially what the old coaches would looked like back in the day, on little branch lines and things. And this is in the sort of Caledonian blue, very bright white roof. I would normally weather these if I pick these up second hand. You can usually pick them up for about between £3.50 and £5. They usually hover around that mark, second hand in good condition. I have a tendency to weather them up, dirty the roof and things like that. In this case, on this one, that is so clean. It's never been used. You can see it hasn't. Got the steps here and the rail. Buffers, big decouplings. Look at that. And you can see just how clean this is. This has never been out of the packaging. And there's a little foot running plate across there as well. That is very clean. I don't think I will touch that at all. I don't believe I'm going to do anything to that at all. That is just so clean. It would be nice to preserve it like that. Use it for special occasions, I suppose you could. Right, what's next? Aha. Now that is an interesting one. Right. If you are familiar with the Hornby Thomas and Friends or Thomas the Tank Engine range, this might look awfully familiar. This is a 4-wheeled open truck. Just looking at it now, if you are familiar with the Thomas range, this will already look very familiar. you've got your buffers, got a bit of detail here with some riveting on, as if there was the metal bands holding the planks together. Same as here, you can see where the flap would have opened. Nice open area there, you get some load in that, fill it up with various stuff. This is actually the very same chassis that that four-wheel coach has underneath it as well. So it's always worth noting. But this is where this particular truck is going to become obvious that this was meant for the Thomas & Friends range. On the Thomas & Friends range, they have a face on one side. I have a number of these. And as you can see on this side, it's got detail. When I turn it round, we've got detail, but I would say it's fairly obvious to say that there was meant to be a face there. So that is rather interesting that Hornby chose to just leave that there, bearing in mind it kind of takes away from the moulding, but never fear. It doesn't take away from the model at all. However, if you go into Shapeways, the 3D printing, Shapeways, if you have a look on there, I'll try and remember to put a link in the description. There are numerous people who make faces that are uncannily familiar to the early second, third series of Thomas the Tank Engine. Very reasonably priced, but you will need to paint them up. And I believe I might be tempted to actually order a couple, one specifically for this truck, because that would get on my nerves a bit, that bit of the moulding, and it's obvious what this was originally made for. So four-wheel coach, definitely ex Thomas & Friends, definitely. Let me know what you think in the comments. And what we got next, now getting a few of these now in sets. I think we got one in the Freightmaster set, and a few of the other ones as well. Very nice four-wheeled box van. If you have a look there, we've got some excellent detail in the moulding, even with the print as well. You can just see there, plenty of detail. Lovely metal wheels. Something, if you're a regular viewer, you'll know really bugs the life out of me when Hornby or other manufacturers put plastic wheels in, because in my case they have to go. They just leave too much dirt on the track. They make a real mess, and they're not as easy. The plastic ones don't run as easily and freely. You just have a look here. You can just see how well that spins round. Nice spoked wheels, incidentally. Buffers. There's even a drawbar hook there, you can see, for coupling hook. Decouplings, and I'm not going to make the mistake I made in the Freightmaster video, but same on the other side, plenty of moulded detail, nice grey roof, nice sort of satin rather than a matte or a gloss, nice satin roof. That's just nice colour, that. I'm not going to make the same mistake. These are, you can see me twiddling there and there. You can pull these out and you could change the size of the coupling that's actually on here. They are available. You can get them off the Hornby website, or even in various auction websites, and various other suppliers, model shops and things like that will be able to sell you different size couplings for you. But they do just pull straight out, these. I'm not going to tempt fate again this time, because the last time I did it I actually pulled it clean out, but I did it the wrong way and I broke this bit and I had to fix it again midway through video. But nice four-wheeled box van. Now I know from the artwork what's next, and I do particularly like these. We'll start off with this. We've got a nice wooden boxed container. Look at the print on there. EJB castings, handle with care, this way up. Lovely, totally hollow, as you can see, and this is where this bit comes in. You can see that will fit on there. This has a bit of sticky tape on the bottom, and that is purely to hold this crate in place and stop it from falling off the next item. This rather wonderful low Mac four-wheeled wagon. Now, weirdly enough, we did have one of these off a Asda exclusive set, which I put the link up earlier on in this review, and I didn't stick it down on that one either, and I'll be reluctant to stick it down on this one as well. Point of notice, couplings can be removed on this one as well. Buffers, it's a nice bit of detail. I do like how they've made the moulding so that actually looks like wood. It's not just painted differently as well, but it actually has a grain to these areas here that are in the grey. So anyway, that rather interesting black and obscure clip is so that you can actually stick that down onto there, and that will prevent that crate from falling off as this travels around the track. I won't stick it on, because once you've stuck it on, you've stuck it on. Plus, I like the idea, and I've mentioned this before in other videos, of being able to put vehicles on here, steamrollers, traction engines, tanks, all that kind of thing. Even, dare I say it, narrow gauge engines being transported on there. Has anyone seen anything like that in a TV series that used to be in, I think it was Gauge 1? Yes, it was Thomas. I often saw Scarloey or Reneus, and people were getting transported around on the main line with one of these. So, I like them. I won't be sticking that black piece on. I'll prefer to keep this exactly how as is and use it for various things, but there's nothing to stop you just putting a bit of blue tack on here instead of using the sticky pad and sticking it on, and then it's easily removable, isn't it? Very easy. Right, the bit you've all been waiting for. Four-wheel pug. Look at that. So we've got a cast metal chassis. The ubiquitous 040 wheel arrangement here from the more budget Hornby locomotives. There's nothing wrong with these budget locomotives. Now let's have a look here. See if we can focus in at all. I can tell you, there we go. Caledonian Railway 176. That's actually incredibly sharp, bearing in mind that that is incredibly little on there. You can see, brilliant. So, Caledonian Railway picked out, lovely print work on here. Just there you've got what would be the flap to lift up to put the water into the saddle tank here. A couple of safety valves. They are separately fitted, they are metal, and just down here lurking at the top of the locomotive is a rather wonderful separately fitted whistle. Business end first. Let's have a look at the business end. As you can see, there's plenty of detail on the moulding here of the cab, with the cab door and a handrail moulded on. Nice tall chimney. A couple of buffers there, and you can possibly just say make out a coupling there. But big D couplings, unfortunately you can't take them off. You can cut them off, but you can't take them off. They are part of the moulding of the bottom of the chassis, so if you do cut it off, you're without a coupling. But that's down to the owner and user. Yet again, another Caledonian Railway 176 plate there. You can see on the moulding here, you can actually see the leaf springs directly above the wheel arrangement. I do know of people who actually cut these buffers off though, however, and find it looks a little bit more realistic just with the front buffer beam. I haven't done that with any of mine, but I might do it with some of the. I might do it with one day, because we're getting quite a collection of these now. So very simple wheel arrangement. You'd put a bit of lubricating oil there if you need to keep this thing running very well, but these things run forever. Now let's see if we can see in the cab. And I don't know if you can just make out all of that detail inside there. Now I think it would be a nightmare to paint up, and I might give it a go one day, but there is plenty of detail in there. And obviously you've got the cab area here where you can put that fireman and driver that we looked at earlier on in this video. So lovely good weight to this loco. Very similar to the loco that we looked at recently. I'll just place that there. From the very, very cheap Freightmaster set that was available on sale. I think it's sold out now from Asda. They're just for this Christmas 2019. So it's basically the same locomotive, and this was Highland Railway 431, but in a completely different guise of the Caledonian Railways 176. So you could easily have both of them on your layout, especially if you're starting out now and you've got a fleet of locomotives very similar but completely different as well at the same time. So Caledonian Railway, the other one was Highland Railway. There's no limit to what you could do with these. And there was a comment in the Freightmaster's video, in the thread there in the comments, where someone had got a number of these, the sets for the Freightmaster, and they were saying, I'm thinking about painting them and things like that. You could paint them. These shells here, these come off. If you have a look in those instructions, it'll show you how these shells come off. These often come up on eBay or second-hand at the model shops because of broken locos and things like that, broken drives. So these are often become available. But you could always keep the livery the same and just change this. Just change that running number. Go to Fox Transfers, go to Rail Tech online, have a look, and these sort of things, they're available in waterslide form, and it wouldn't take much with a little fiberglass brush, very gently, to just get rid of that and then place a different transfer, and you've got a different fleet number, so you could have a number of locomotives, the same railway, just a different fleet number. So thank you. I can't remember who it was now who actually put that question or brought that up on the thread for the Freightmaster set, but thank you. I do read your comments and I try to reply to them as quickly as I can. But there we go. That was the Lowland Carrier train set. Like I said before at the beginning of this video, I'm not going to put the track mat out. I'm not going to put the track out and get the controller out and everything like that, because we do it all the time. If you want to see that, look back, have a look at the other videos for the other train sets that we've reviewed. I'm not going to not do this every time. It's just, in this case, it's very similar to other sets. So it just seems like an awful lot of video to be putting onto YouTube that, quite frankly, a lot of people aren't going to watch. So that's the Lowland Carrier. As we discovered, 2013, 2014, this was available. I don't actually remember it, so whether it was an exclusive somewhere, I don't know. But if you know, let me know in the comments. If you've got any questions, leave it in the comments. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, look up here, put a like on. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. That way I know that you enjoyed it. I don't know who you are, but I do know that that one person enjoyed it. So if you enjoyed it, like it. If you want to talk to me about this set or about anything else, or just ask me a question in general about train sets, if you're new to this or anything like that, leave a comment. Like I said, as soon as I'm available to read that comment, I will read it. As soon as I can answer it, I will answer it and reply to you. And if you want to see more content, there's a lot of reviews for locos and things and rolling stock coming up and other things. If you want to keep up to date with the videos as they're uploaded, press the subscribe. If you want to know immediately, press the bell icon, and as soon as it's uploaded, you will be notified. I must add a big thank you to all of the most recent subscribers, because in the last month, there's been sort of an insurgence of subscribers, and I thank you very much. I know now that there's people out there who want to see what I'm putting out there on YouTube. So thank you very much to everyone out there. Thank you to everyone that's commented so far. This will probably be the last video before the new year being 2020. All the best for 2020. I hope you come back in 2020 to continue watching more of these videos. I'm going to continue to put them up. I know that there's been a lot of talk out there, a lot of people are leaving YouTube for various reasons, but as you see at the very beginning of all of my videos, these videos are aimed at adults who are getting into the hobby. And when I say adults, I'm talking 16 plus, maybe 14 plus, but they're adults as in, we're not aiming for anyone under 14, I can tell you that now. However, I might review things like Thomas and stuff like that, but they're designed at the collector, or adults who are working to build railways or things for their children. Sometimes I might use a bit of profanity, and I use tools and things like that, and it's not designed for children. So I will still very much be here in 2020 and beyond.